How about we look at that one?
Here's a cop holding a black man down on the ground, and the cop takes his baton, puts it on the ground, and then grabs the black man's hand and forces it onto the baton and says, "He's taken my weapon." And then they all beat the shit out of him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
The whole thing's on. I watched the video. Now, these are terrible, blurry images. We probably don't want to show a video of a hate crime, but this is just a prime example of the stuff that they do on fucking camera in the middle of a crowded street. Like the amount of evil that's in police forces across the country is outrageous. They are a gang. They are a criminal organization. They're the largest criminal organization in the country. Like, we see them commit more. I've never seen a gang member do a crime. I've never seen it. Now, obviously, I've lived a sheltered life. I've never seen a video of it. I watch a lot of videos, but I've never seen a gang member do anything. I've seen so many cops murder and assault people.
What makes the police thing doubly troublesome for me is it's always in a group, right? Like, I not always, but I typically see like 3 policemen beat up one guy, 6 policemen beat up one guy. There's no one reasonable in this party. No one that says stop. Like, if it's a different thing to me if one guy 5-finger discounts something while they're working at Walmart than if like 6 guys get together and form a crime ring and take all this stuff out of Walmart. Like, they're all looking the other way or supporting it. I have seen the alternative. I saw a video, you probably saw it too. Cop had his knee on the guy's neck, very much like is it George Floyd incident recently. And a guy with a cell phone camera goes, "You've got your knee on his neck. Take your knee on his neck." And the other cop grabs the fabric of the guy's pants and just repositions it 6 inches. And same effect. The guy wasn't resisting too bad. You didn't have to be on his neck. And I was like, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that he did that.
I saw a whole laundry list of police officers who had been fired or had their careers ruined for stepping into situations like that.
I've heard about some recently.
It was one of those culture. It was one of those images with like rows of photographs of police officers, like 8 police officers, and then each one had a bio. She said this, and that. Immediately fired. It's like,
I wonder
you can murder a black man in the street, or a white man for that matter. You can murder a man in the street and get away with it, or get some time off, or some desk duty, or administrative leave, whatever the fuck that means.
That shit is such bullshit. That just means vacation.
Yeah, I know it does. But the lady who told somebody, "Hey, don't choke him," they fire her.
Yeah, that it's probably all true. I always fact check stuff like that. Like, if I get my news from a infographic or something.
Yeah, you have to, for sure.
Yeah.
But you have to look at every infographic as total fact and trust that the guy who made it did his research.
I get my news from
make a
memes.
graphic out of lies.
Gallo wouldn't lie.
What's that old meme where it's like, would someone do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just way too much authority has been given to law enforcement for far too long. I hope that they do defund police departments. I hope they do take their toys away from them, because 99% of the time they don't fucking need them. This isn't Nicaragua. This isn't a war zone.
They always paint defunding the police as this lawless anarchy, we're not having police anymore thing. And it's like, no. What if instead of an armored vehicle, we had a midnight basketball league? You know, like, maybe we could put that money towards something more useful, a boxing league, or
so expensive. Like, I know a thing or two about how much guns and optics and tear gas and grenade launchers and armored vehicles cost. It's some of the most expensive shit that exists. It's precision equipment that's often made for military purposes. And of course, there's so much fluff built into the cost of those things, because it's meant to be sold to the U.S. government.
Industrial complex.
Absolutely, they are. Yeah, it's ridiculous the amount of money that's spent. And I was aware of those programs, and we would talk to police departments about, like, hey, we're going to be in the air, and we're going to be blowing stuff up, and we're going to be doing this and that and that. By the way, are you aware that if you file this form, you can get the X, Y, and Z? They're like, whoa, really? Yeah, you can get up to hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment that these local sheriff's departments can get, machine guns and armored vehicles for
no
a little
reason.
podunk sheriff's department. It's like, hey, they're like, hey, that's really cool. I saw you had that fully automatic M14. And it's like, you want one? They're like, yeah, but we can't get that. Yeah, you can. You file this form, then you can get one. Yeah, they'll pay for it. And we've told them that, and then they've done it. Like as a way of like getting in with those sheriff's departments. Like, hey, look, you have this cool stuff too. You're really the only ones who can have it. Wildly expensive equipment. Like someone pointed out the other day how those guys had EOTechs on their on their single fire grenade launchers. I don't know how much those grenade launchers cost. I would guess about $900 a pop, but the EOTechs themselves are like $600 a pop.
The things I really want are the change in the culture where police support brutal police, or they just look the other way, and cameras, but get those
consequences to have to come along with the cameras. I agree with you on the cameras, but there have to be consequences, and you can't let the police, you can't let the criminals police themselves. Like there needs to be you have to have an internal affairs division handle those administrative issues. You can't have the police decide how to punish themselves.
The internal affairs people are going to be, semi on the same team, I would guess.
Somewhat,
right? Like,
somewhat
it's
not.
It's not going to.
Well, from my years of watching NYPD Blue, I'll tell you that's not true.
I
have no idea.
Maybe that's me being cynical about it.
Probably need a civilian oversight committee. It's what you actually need.
And how do you even set something like that up? Like this?
Yeah, and how do you stop them from being friends after a little bit, right? Like, even if they start
Are you telling me that political groups that work together closely over time tend to eventually merge and collude? That doesn't sound realistic. Take it back to Alex Jones.
FedEx has a policy where if they find a package, if an employee finds a package with illicit materials in it, let's say marijuana, that employee gets, I want to say $10,000.
What?
It's a lot of incentive. It's why I only ship marijuana through the United States Postal Service.
That's good thinking.
It seemed like good thinking. It was like, all right, you got this one division, you got UPS and FedEx, and they're handing out fucking cash money if anybody smells a little reefer in a box. Meanwhile, you got the USPS, and their stuff is protected. You can only open a package with a warrant. How will they ever get a... Oh, shit, I shouldn't have picked the post office next to the courthouse, should I?
I was
literally across the street.
I was surprised the packaging wasn't better. I thought
they walked to the courthouse to get the warrant.
Hindsight's 2020.
That is rough.
Oh, they walked. They were like, "We're gonna get a warrant for the package." And I was like, "How long is that gonna take?" I don't know, 5 minutes. They walked across the street.
Hindsight is 2020, but not for me. With my eyes, hindsight's 2780 for me.
Not a fan of the police for a couple of reasons. Just
yeah, I don't blame you. Police really give you a lot of reasons to be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
The whole system's just awful. The whole system's awful and needs a ground up rebuild. I wish they had a better Democratic candidate out there who was like young and a little bit more progressive than fucking Sleepy Joe. I hope he does something about marijuana policy and policing. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think he's got a very good chance now against Trump because Trump has handled Corona poorly, and now he's handled this so poorly. This rioting thing.
He's up by 14. Here's my take on it. He's up by 14 points right now, or 13.8, something like that.
Nationally?
Yes. Hillary was up by, I think, 3 when she lost. So I'm just going to extend that and say that if Trump was within 3 or 4, he might win. If he's down by 14, he would lose, I think, if the election was held today. I think it's 5 months away. So yeah, we'll see how that handles. I think those are, look, I don't have any special insight, but I think the economy might be looking good from here till November, and that could work in Trump's favor. But probably still a lot to overcome.
Biden just needs to keep his mouth shut because Trump is saying so many stupid things.
Isn't it interesting? I've never seen a campaign before where just fucking shutting the fuck up has been so effective, right? Let the other candidate bury himself. Biden doesn't need to say or do anything. And if he does, it might hurt his case. Every time they say, like, can Woody beat a generic Republican? Then I lose, right? It's some guy you have a problem with versus a flawless person who isn't him. But they say, can Woody beat this particular person? And it's a much tighter race. Biden is positioning himself as the unheard from candidate. Now, there will be debates. There will be, like that can't last all the way until the end. But it's a funny strategy where they seem to just say, like, Biden, every time you say anything wrong, right? You get a reporter's name wrong or something. And it's this national story. You don't know where you are. You're lost and confused, etc. Just stay off camera and let Trump do his thing. And that's a winning strategy so far. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I know, Kyle. We gotta be checking out soon. Kyle's gotta be up in the morning very early.
Oh, I was just asking like how far in we were.
We're 4 hours and 1 minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not. I dislike Biden so much. But anybody who might expunge some marijuana records is A-OK in my book.
You know what? I'm voting for whoever's going to help my man Kyle out. Actually, that's a lie. I'm not voting.
Biden's record on police is kind of not the record you'd think you'd want, right? He was like the law and order guy. He was, I think he authored a really tough crime bill, one that doesn't look good in hindsight, like that might have led to some of this brutality. On the other hand, when Trump tries to paint him as this like liberal cuck, defund the police dude, he's kind of resistant to that. It's not very true. We'll see how it plays out.
We'll fucking see. It'll be an entertaining season, hopefully.
Yeah. Anyway, I enjoyed the politics talk.
I did too. I just so much going on in the world with the cops right now, or in the U.S. Like, if anybody hasn't seen that video that we were referencing earlier, where you have the police higher up and with all the cops behind them juxtaposed
Such
with
a
all
gang, like you said before. It's like the most gang shit ever.
Yeah. It looked like something from like a mafia movie with like Al Capone with all of his minions. Like you think that they think they could push us around? We run this city. It just.
And you'll see like,
who are you?
Where it's like, well, actually, black cops shoot black people even more than white cops, and it's like, no, you're not getting.
Yeah, they're better shots. What's your point?
It's like a clan, a group of people, the cops, and they're in it. We're not in it. Like, that's what it seems to come down to.
There's not black cops and white cops. There's blue cops.
Yeah, they're on the in. We're on the outs. That's what it seems to be. But what the fuck do I know?
I've had a lot of cop buddies, and I like those guys personally. But like, just seeing their attitude and the way some of the gear they carry, like there's one guy with like, I don't want to exaggerate, but let's call it 500, 600 rounds of ammunition in the trunk of his car with his machine gun. You know, he had one of those like raptor claw knives like stuck into his belt, ready to disembowel a motherfucker. It's like,
Jesus Christ. You know what? I said this a bit ago, not on this show, but I think a good idea is take away all weapons from the cops, all weapons from any rioters, protesters. Just give everybody a pool noodle, and it'll be a fun time. People will have a good time, and before you know it, people will be laughing. They'll be laughing, having such a fun time, having noodle fights.
I want to watch those videos.
Yeah, that's the America I want to live in. That's in the schizophrenia future of this country when I can run for office. That's what I'm going to promise. Pool noodles for every man. You can only fight.
I feel like if I handed out pool noodles at a riot to both sides, the cops would still use their batons.
I know they would.
Yeah, they totally would.
They would be like, he's littering, and they shoot you in the face.
You're just, both sides hate you. Yeah, you're like, don't go to protests and hand out pool noodles.
Yeah, you know what I think I really don't like? Rubber bullets. I think
hate
rubber
rubber
bullets
bullets.
are terrible.
Oh, yeah, that is
Those
bad.
are fucking bullshit, dude.
They're
Well, 'cause
fire
you're supposed to shoot it to bounce off things, and apparently they haven't been doing that. They've just been like rupturing testicles and shit.
They're supposed to ricochet them off the ground about 3 meters in front of the people. That way, it hits them at a lower velocity in the lower extremities. They're
they're
just
not
shooting
Yeah,
motherfuckers with them.
shooting. They're going
Kyle,
for
you're
the
meaning to
headshot.
tell me that these police were given military grade weapons and riot suppression gear, and they're not using them in a responsible way, even though they make $40-something thousand a year and are highly educated people. Dude, this is wow. Wow. I'm fucking blown away by this.
All of those motherfuckers need to be working behind the counter of an auto zone.
Wow. They get tear gas.
They don't
and
need
don't
to
use
be.
it cool.
The whole it's such a huge responsibility. I want my cops more educated than my teachers. You know what I mean? Like you need a 4-degree. I think it should be a 4-year degree. I think you should have like a criminology fucking degree before they put you in a fucking Batmobile and put a utility belt on your ass and give you an AR-15, a 12 gauge, and a 9mm pistol and say go out and enforce the law. And you don't even know the law.
You're
How many
getting
times
me
have we
over.
seen? How many times have we seen a lawyer get pulled over and make a cop look like a dummy?
All the time. Those are great clips, except for the I'm a sovereign citizen according to maritime law. You're just
This is an ocean faring vessel here. All right,
Guy's
You
got
know,
a paddle.
you and the rest of those scallywags need to beat feet. Head on back to the beach.
because we have to reason with the police. How about we take away rubber bullets and tear gas, but we allow them that if anyone in any situation says the words maritime law, they can beat them to death.
Deal.
And we've solved it. We've solved it, gentlemen.
At
The
last.
first person who identifies himself as an admiral gets clubbed to death.
I'm
on
Admiral
I-4.
Stevens. According to maritime law, just fucking mace, gun, dead.
He gets a real Rodney King.
Yeah, he gets a real Rodley Kingin. And even worse than that, dead.
That's what you mispronounced Rodney. I think Kyle and I both caught the. But look,
Rodney?
mispronouncing. That's
don't know who
my
Rodney King
thing,
is?
Taylor.
No, I know who Rodney King is.
Oh, okay.
No, I said Rodney Kingin. Like
Fair enough.
like the act of,
Like it was a
of being
verb.
Rodney King.
To use
Yeah.
it as a verb.
I
It's
tried to
cool.
make a joke. Didn't work. Looked like a retard. Here we are.
Welcome to PKA.
You can't win them all.
Can't win them all. So